Nothing.
What?
What? Please, and thank you.
No, thank you.
That happened after the United States lost. I know it was shameful. Chris, what were we before the tournament? We were what, 60 to 1, or was it like 63 to 1?
Whatever it was, you told us to take it because they were going to win, but you don't want to.
But just, if we're going to put that in comparison to the NFL, like coming into the NFL this year, the Colts Commanders were 65. The Giants were 70 to 1. So they were a long shot, real long shot to begin with. And all I hear was, we're never going to catch up. How do we catch up? Pace the play came up, and if we only had one sport, we'd have more athletes. We'll catch up. We'll get there. I wish. Why are you so sure? Look at, why I know we'll catch up, Chris? Why? Because look at all the countries that have caught up to us in basketball. Look at the times we've dominated. Look at that. I could have been on Team USA in basketball, and we would have won every game by 50 back 30 years ago. Nowadays, who the hell knows? If we just pounced it, there's no guarantee of anything, to be honest with you. But they caught up to us. We'll catch up to soccer. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt your rant.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Do you see any country catching up to us in real football?
In national football?
Yeah.
40 years down the line.
Yes. Do you see any country ever catching up to the United States?
Doing that?
No.
You stay doing this?
40 years.
That's blue.
Yeah.
But they were still playing basketball overseas. And technically, you've had a couple of runs. We've become a much more global sport. The
Tell me.
NBA,
Look at that.
the NBA
Got it.
helped into that.
Can't give it.
Wants to put it to one time put a team overseas. So to me, that's a lot of what the NBA has done. You're just like guaranteeing something that ain't gonna happen. And no offense, but in like 40 years, man, there's a pretty good chance neither you nor I are gonna be here to pay off that thing. So
I was going to still be the show. We can still be doing the show together.
yeah, no, I will not be able to live here in 40 years.
I just don't think younger fans have the patience, the loyalty. Can you see a 20-year-old right now going 53 years of his team not winning, and he's going to be loyal to that team? That's why it was so emotional. Look at those, we laugh at those actors, Ben Stiller and all those guys. They've been big fans for their whole lives. I mean, the Spike Lee, he's paying big money just to sit courtside because he was a diehard Knicks fan. You just won't get that now. It's just a whole new upbringing of sports fans. It could hurt. It could really hurt sports in the future without the fans that we used to be, Chris. I know your Oklahoma team could lose 100 games in a row. You would never be an Oklahoma State fan, would you? Oklahoma State.
No matter how, can I just ask a general thought? What triggered this? I don't see anyone saying, well, there's Argentinian fans because there's a large group of, Argentinian, holding Argentinians that live here in the States. So you got that. And Messi, very popular, so you got a big draw for that. Like, who triggered this for you? Because
I think I'm triggered it was after the United States loss.
right.
And just the whole negativity, the whole we'll never catch them.
You're not supposed to be happy when you lose, dude.
No, I understand that. Just a little bit more accepting because of what happened in the situation, and our best player has a broken foot for the most part, and the ripping of him was just unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable, Chris. I just feel like we've closed the gap. I mean, we did close. We did win the group. You know, I did hear Colin say, look how many people watched the World Cup. And then I saw the little, and I believe, I'm like, wow, we had, 30, 40 million people watching it. And then when Brandi Chastain scored her winning goal, I think there was about 30 also, 30 million people instead of watching that. So I'm like, well, where's the growth? I think we'll eventually get there. I mean, it seems like the talent's better, but it just, in the fans-wise, it just was sickening to get on Twitter and just see, and it was mostly, you could see it was from younger people. You know, I kind of wish, after seeing this, that the World Cup was once every 2 years. We can't get the big stars to play every 2 years. Like, the United States should host it every year. I think that'd be fantastic. Of course, that would never happen. I like that, and I would like to expand it. I see that they're going to try and they're going to expand it. So, I mean, hopefully this becomes a lot more than what we saw this year. But I just felt that the fans disgusted the crap out of me. And it was mostly the younger ones. I'm sorry to say that. It's just that, you know, it's just one rotten comment after another on Twitter. And I'm just like, gosh, what happened to the loyalty? What happened to the journey? What happened to the, you know, the memories you were trying to make with your family or friends or relatives or anything like that? Those days are long gone. I promise you that. They don't happen anymore, Chris.
Go ahead, Mary Mac.
Well, what I was going to say was, Arnie, the problem is not that there's no loyalty or journey. The problem is that
This is enraging right now.
the real problem is that American sports fans and sports media did what we did to the Spurs during like the NBA playoffs and stuff. Was like we prematurely hype up teams that like 2 hours in we think we're good. Like you have to remember, they just got a new coach like what 2 years ago.
Right.
In order that 4 years. To train together. Also, some of them play together in their prep club team, stuff like that. So they're a little bit more familiar. About the Premier League.
And I think, you know, I think but Chris, I was cognizant that we were 60-1, and like I said, if you're going to compare that to the NFL, that's like saying you're picking the Colts or the Commanders or the Giants to win the Super Bowl this year. We all know that's not going to happen.
I mean, yes, but Arnie, again, we're talking from an American point of view. Right? If you ask anyone who, again, actually watches like all of soccer,
Yeah.
of all the clubs, you can really make the difference and be like, okay, yeah, like America's good, but they're not good to the level of, again, a France or a Spain team or even an England team, even let alone like some of the African teams. They were not really on that level.
But that's
They're still finding their sense of style and sense of play.
Just because you're not on the same level now, one, doesn't mean that the game couldn't have been closer. Two, that doesn't mean we couldn't have won. I mean, look at what goes on in the NCAA.
You're doing it already.
You're doing it
already.
prematurely.
I'm not being too positive. You know what?
You're not being too positive. It's like you're getting mad at people that are madly influenced. And then you're sitting here saying, could have easily won this thing.
I'm not.
What are you talking about?
I'm not mad. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to want to win. I want to win more than anybody out there. I always say to you, Chris, I'm a bigger fan than you are. But, you know, it just seems that the negativity, the lack of, really it's the lack of loyalty. Because you know, what would you say? There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty at all.
Everyone bandwagon on America playing. Like, everyone just loved America because it was America, not because of the actual team and the story and all of that.
Yeah, what's your base like? What are you saying that loyalty is? What's your like? Where is the lack of loyalty? Just because people are happy that we lost?
No, well, people are happy that we lost. The people were rooting against the United States.
he opens it up, and he's yelling at his kid. He goes, "Who taught you this? Who'd you learn this from?" And the kid said, "I learned it from watching you, Dad." Right. What you're complaining about is how you treat sports.
No, Chris,
What?
anything about me,
dude?
I'm 100%. Have I ever been anything but a New York Knicks fan?
Yeah, but if I been off of it the first sign of adversity, and you go watch Law and Order or something. Yeah, if they wouldn't have won the title, this year, you would be sitting here destroying them.
No,
Chris, you would be like, "Oh, the joys of the journey, just another run to find."
No, of course
irate.
Of course I'd be disappointed. Why, are you telling me you're not going to just last year you're going to be a Raider fan if they don't win the Super Bowl? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You've twisted yourself in on this because for some reason you allowed yourself to be this bastion of, "We're going to win the World Cup. Did you see us? We're different." And then when we don't, and you're shocked that people are mad about this stuff.
It's not even so much about being mad. It was there's so much the negativity. I didn't want them to win anyway. The president got involved. I wanted them to lose ever since the president got involved. I mean, it was like one excuse after another, and I'm like, this is crazy. This is, the sports fans. I don't know.